Thank you, Fairy Godmother. I'll take it from here. Good morning. My name is Benjamin Bosque, and today I'll be answering the question, to what extent is the adaptation of the hero's journey an inspiration for animation companies to create better movies in our current society? My claim is that, by using this type of movie format, the hero's journey simple adaptation, more compelling and interesting animated movies can be created. By the way, what's the hero's journey? The hero's journey is a template created by Joseph Campbell in 1949 to sum up the vast majority of heroic stories. Even more, it is still used to portray any story that involves a journey and an evolution in the main character experiencing it, making it a very important device even to this day. The biggest advantages it has is how easy it is to transmit lessons and values to the spectator via the main character's evolution and in his adventure. This is because the protagonist usually needs to overcome a challenge that can easily relate to the viewers, such as a personal struggle or fears. This can relate to the stimulus, social media, and the movement of ideas, mostly in the social aspect. Like social media, movies are extremely good transmitting emotions and goals to its public using narrative tools and interesting characters. However, they do it in a slightly different way. Instead of telling us something directly, it can usually showcase a common problem in someone's life, but with a different context, easier for us to understand. That's why it is so important for films to state their messages clearly and well organized, so that these values are not lost within the film. Talking about heroes, this quote, "Injustice anywhere, it's a threat to justice everywhere," it's from Martin Luther King Jr.'s essay, Letter for Birmingham Jail, as a response to why he decided to start protests in Birmingham. In his letter, Dr. King addresses all of their questions, while also leaving important messages in it that could later be portrayed in different media to continue with his rules of equality and fairness, one of them being the next two movies I'm going to present. Shrek 1 and Shrek 2. Both of these movies are great examples of the hero's journey and carrying important ideas. The first one has a heavy focus on not giving up because you're different from the rest of the people that criticize you. And the second one, by staying true to your values and not changing because the people want you to change, but because you want to change. They were not only a critical success, as you can see here from Rotten Tomatoes. They got an 88 and an 89. These being really good numbers for movies in a kind of new terrain of 3D animation movies. But they were also a very financial success too. Shrek grossed $484 million in the box office, and the sequel almost doubled that number by making $920 million worldwide, being DreamWorks busy up to date. As you can see here in this chart by Box Office Mojo, where it stayed as third place and Shrek 2 as first place, this being the values of domestic gross. And in a less impactful way overall, but still important by being closer to our present day, Finding Nemo and Finding Dory are also good examples. The first one having messages of family and friendship and to never let them go, and the second one by reminding us not to forget our roots and who we are, portraying the ideals of the hero's journey perfectly. Now, sales-wise, Finding Nemo grossed $940 million, while its sequel made a whopping $1 billion around the globe. This number could have also been influenced by Disney and Pixar's overly recognized name, but these still are very impressive numbers nonetheless. So after doing the research, my solution is that the solution is to keep using the hero's journey adaptation to make thoughtful and entertaining movies, and at the same time bending its rules a little for more creativity on them. However, abusing this type of storytelling device is not always the best option. A limitation can be the unfitting use of it, such as Monsters University and Monsters Inc. In comparison to its predecessor, Monsters University achieved a 79% on the specialized critics on Rotten Tomatoes, being a 70% less than its predecessor, which is a really dramatic drop of numbers, being that this movie is 12 years old. This movie is 12 years older than the new version. And sales-wise, it grossed $744 million, while Monsters Inc. $580 million. But if the inflation between those years, it's taking in place, which is 31.5% between the years 2001 and 2013, it translates to $760 million for Monsters Inc., roughly more than its sequel, enough to be defined as a narrative failure. In conclusion, usage of the hero's journey has been a tool used for over 70 years to portray the evolution of narrative and creative successes. I also teach and give important lessons along the way, because without it, most of the things we have learned today would not be possible. Thank you. What questions do you have?
Thank you, Ben. 2 questions I have for you. First up,
Yes, sir.
how did your research question evolve as you went through the research process?
Okay, so at the beginning, when I was figuring the question, it was more focused on Shrek, on Shrek 2, because of it stayed as a really good sequel overall. But when I was doing my research, I came to the conclusion that focusing on that movie wouldn't be the best case, because I could have used more examples as I did here.
And if you had more time, what additional research would you conduct on this?
I would have researched on other types of storytelling devices, not only on the hero's journey, because it can maybe bring more variation to the animation enterprises. But I thought that focusing on the hero's journey, being how old it is, but still how do you say, more like it's still being a trending topic in our movies, I think it was a good focus.
You're done, bro.